Hello, my name is Groat II. I'm an American artist living and working in upstate New York, actually about 200 miles north of New York City. Adjusting detail, I've got the camera zoomed in onto one of those areas that I just placed down to, represent the stitches in a simplified manner. Now I've mixed up a little bit of burnt umber, and I'm using a very small brush. It's a 00. As they go around, they turn. It takes a lot of focus. Every time you reposition the ball, the angles of these stitches change. I'm going to get down to basics in this one. I've had many requests from both artists, beginning artists, and also art students to put together a DVD that actually introduces all of those fundamental concepts and art principles that are integral into being able to learn how to paint and draw. And I also get into the tools of the trade. So this particular DVD is outstanding for showing the beginning student the techniques for stretching cotton canvas with the players, applying the gesso, how to assemble the stretcher strips. I get into the various types of bristle brushes and compare bristle brushes to the nylon and the synthetic type brushes and the traditional Klinsky sable. Discuss the various paints I use, colors. Then from those tools I move into the classic design principles, those concepts that are essential for setting up a dynamic composition that communicates in a powerful way. And then I phase into the art elements. And so both with the design principles and art elements, I discuss the concepts in relationship to a black and white painting of eggs and tea. Email me. I'm more than willing to answer questions that you may have. I mean, if you're a beginner, there's always ideas that may appear a little bit vague. I mean, there's so much to it. And thanks again. And if you are a teacher at a public school or a professor at a college, this package will be outstanding for introducing fundamental concepts to your students. Make sure it's tight. Staple. Okay, so that's two sides I've stapled. Now this first one here, or this third one here, don't pull that as much. Just pull it a little bit. Okay, I've zoomed really close in on this corner so you can see how the canvas is sort of folding. And I'm going to see if this is possible to show. Watch what my fingers do. From the center outwards, and the reason for that is you want it to shrink and dry evenly. When I first started this process 18 to 25 years ago, I remember stretching large canvases and starting from one end, and it would shrink unevenly, and then all of a sudden the canvas would buckle, torque. Alright, same brush, same phase, more detail. I'm zoomed way in on here. The back of the Oreo cookies, this one up top, there's these little divisions. I'm using the same brush, just printing down, almost like a little mono print. to indicate those minute forms. There we go, just like that. And as I do it, I'm actually becoming more active. More umber. Bring that down here, restating the detail. This takes quite a bit of focus. About myself, I received my master's in fine arts degree down at Brooklyn College back in 1990, and spent 2 years there studying with an artist by the name of Leonard Anderson, actually being exposed to the classical ideas of naturalist painting. And it was quite different for me at that point, because before that time I was actually more of an abstract painter, and so I do have that abstract background and design experience. So at Brooklyn College anyways, I spent a considerable amount of time being exposed to traditional realist painting, and since then I've spent years perfecting and have fun. That's what painting is all about, having fun and take chances and make mistakes. You have to make mistakes to, discover new things about yourself as an artist. Goodbye. Try some different combinations out with this tetrad option and compare it to the color schemes I presented before, and see which ones work for you. As I have always mentioned, you have to be willing to take chances with color and experiment. I mean, that's the fun thing about painting, is working with color and seeing what the possibilities are. I'm panning down in my palette, and I've decided to go with a cad yellow contrasted with the violet and then a orange blue. Let's see what happens. As I said, you have to try things out, be willing to take chances to make discoveries with color. And here's an example before your eyes.